Continuing with our daily session with Yehuda ben Tema Omer. Right, Reuven? We started yesterday speaking about that. Yehuda ben Tema says a person has to be bold or he has to be brazen like a tiger. The next thing that he said that...
Leopard, tiger.
Right, leopard, tiger, correct. You know, it's interesting that even while you're busy, you're still learning. Very good.
I'm actually going to meet a very important person of New York City. I don't want to mention who exactly.
Very nice.
And yet we still squeeze in the time, Rabbi.
Baruch Hashem. Very happy, very nice. Kol hakol, you got it? So I just want to get, one paragraph in. Over here he says like this. When Yehuda ben Tema said, Have askenaber, we spoke about that. You have to be brazen like a tiger or like a leopard. But then he said you have to be kalkenasha. What does it mean one has to be light or swift like an eagle? Like an eagle. So he says over here, Hainu, sha'anesha ro'el merchok. We know that an eagle, he's able to see at a very far distance. He's able to see far away. So what is the Torah coming to tell us? That we should look at women? What do you think the Torah is coming to tell us, Reuven? So what do you say? You have to be like an eagle. What am I going to be like an eagle for what?
Avoid the woman, avoid the Avara, no?
So you know, by the way, even though you have to be Reuven, even though you have to be quick like an eagle, but an eagle has a very good eyesight, a very good vision, seeing far away. Nevertheless, comes the halakha and it tells us, there you have to be much more careful with the vision of your eyes. You should close your eyes from seeing something which is immodest. They call bad something immodest. Now you need to understand, an eagle wasn't quick, even though it has a very far distance, but it blinks, it's quick and able to turn away from something. So we're not teaching you over here, chas v'shalom, that you should look far away and look for nice, beautiful women on the streets. No. We're saying that when you're walking and chas v'shalom, you come across a woman who's not modest, you should turn away. Now, you know, Ruben, I want to just make something clear. We're not speaking about chas v'shalom if you're driving on the road and you know you see somebody passing, you know, you close your eyes and then cause a car accident. We're not asking you to be chasid shoteh, you know. We're not asking you to be... You have to be reasonable. Listen, you have to make it so obvious. Okay, you saw her, she passed by, you continue. You know, the Rav Chaim Igal says something beautiful. Not that you're allowed to look at a woman, chas v'shalom, like an immodest woman, but if you did see her by accident, you don't get an avera for that. You don't get a sin. The job is to make sure that you don't continue thinking about her. Say it again.
If you continue looking or thinking about her, is where the issue is.
Sometimes a guy, he sees it, he says, oh wow, whoa, you know, that, you know. But it isn't. So that's why comes the halakha, and he tells us, you have to be careful when you see something immodest, close your eyes with haste. Why is that so important? You know why? We don't understand. I want to save you a lot of money today. Make sure your wife doesn't listen to this. You know why? Because the eyes are the beginning of all sin.
How so, Rabbi?
How so? I'm going to give you a small example. You ever walked with your wife, you ever walk window shopping, you want to go to a certain store, and she's just window shopping, all of a sudden, she needs this bag, she needs those shoes. How? Up to now, she was perfect, 30 years, 40 years without it. Because once the eyes see, automatically you want. There's a food, you never thought about this food in a restaurant. Also, you see it, now you want it. That's why they try to make the menu nice, you know, dim the lights a little bit, remind you that was going to be in Gehenna, you know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Bowls are burning.
But he says, because the seeing is the beginning of all sin. What triggers everything? First the eye sees, then the heart, it desires, and then your feet, they go and they do the avera. That's why you have to protect your eyes as they were jewels and not to look at forbidden women. And I'll tell you something, I was told many times by people that really want to come back to Hashem and they just can't because they feel bad. Like one guy told me, he was walking into it. I don't know how this is possible. Don't quote me on it. He was walking to fix his teeth. And there was some Spanish girl just say, hi, babe. Like, you know, like gave him like, he says, Rabbi, I have a very big car. I don't know what happened. She got my attention. Coffee, tea, food. Before you know it, I was with her. All it took is a few seconds to get my attention. It's like, Rabbi, I wasn't even planning to do this Averum. But that's exactly what happens. Once your eye sees and your heart desires, it's very hard to stop. Rabbi Akiva from the Gemara almost fell. Nuru da Amra, almost the great Tanaim. If it wouldn't be for the Torah, they would also fall chas v'shalom with women. Women are the most powerful. Say it again.
Let me ask you a question. But what if, let's just say you fight the Yetzer Hara at that moment and you stop and you don't do it? Is there a reward?
Wow, now you're saying something good. Of course there is. It says, when you stop yourself, it's as if Ne'ilah, Ne'ilah on Yom Kippur, the last prayer on Ne'ilah, when people spend hundreds of thousands, that moment is your Ne'ilah. Whatever you ask from Hashem, He's going to give you.
Oh, wow.
It's a it's anybody who could break himself, this is called a real man. A real man is not who brings parnasa home, no, that's something he has to do. But a real man who's able to break his desires. That's very hard to do. You have to be a great person to do it. And that's how we know Yosef. Why was Yosef a tzaddik? Why was he the only one called Yosef a tzaddik? Because he was able to run away from her, from Potiphar's wife.
Right.
So let's just conclude with this. And he says over here, this is what we said, that you should be quick, you should run like a deer. That goes against a person's feet. You should always make your feet run to do good. You have to understand over here, this is very important. A lot of people, whenever you start asking them, or whenever you start telling them, you have mitzvot, Torah, davening, learning, they're afraid. They start calculating, making calculations. How much time I'm going to lose, what's going to happen. Comes the Torah, teaches us, listen, think about it on the way. But don't think about it while you're home. First walk to do the mitzvah. Use your feet, be like a deer. When a deer's life is in danger, he doesn't think, he just runs. Whenever you get an opportunity, it's as if you have to fear that the Yitzhar is running after you to bring you down, so you have to be like the deer to run and try to catch the mitzvah before you could lose it.
That's amazing, Rabbi. Rabbi, question for you.
Yeah.
I'll use myself as an example.
No, you don't have to use yourself.
Well, in the mornings, I can't really. Time to time, I gotta pray at home, right? I gotta tefillin at home. I gotta pray at home because I need to help my wife.
Right.
Is that a mitzvah or is that an avera? Because I was home for reasons of shalom bayit to pray at home versus praying with a minyan.
Okay. So if let's say, for example, if there's no other place where you could daven, or you have to be at work, we're going to allow you to daven at home. First, I'll put it to you like this. A lot of times people, they don't understand that the wife and the children are the most important thing. So what do? They leave their wives. Like a lot of times you see this on Erev Shabbat, on the eve of Shabbat. People coming 7 o'clock to synagogue, right now, because Shabbat comes in late, and their house is upside down. It's in turmoil. Kids are screaming, wife is arguing, balagan. No. Don't do that. Make sure your wife has her sanity. Make sure she's normal. Make sure the house is ready for Shabbat. You can do it, get a cleaning lady. You can get a clean, or help your wife. Make sure the kids are taken care of. Don't throw all the burden on your wife and then try to be a tzaddik down to Hashem. There's a mitzvah to help your wife. So same thing in the morning. In the morning, if you have to help your wife and there's going to be no minyan, or you're going to miss a minyan because you have to help her, you have to help her. Because Hashem says, first give tzedakah and only then come down to me. The greatest tzedakah is by helping your wife first. You have to put the kids on the bus, But I want to just make something clear, Ruben. A lot of people are going to take this law out of context. You have to understand, I'm not telling you right now, a person, he wakes up 8 o'clock and all of a sudden he wants to help his wife. No. We're speaking about, listen, you have a synagogue by you 6 o'clock, you should go down 6 o'clock. Do your best. 7 o'clock, down 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, so you have to take care of your kids by 6, 7. Get up early in the morning. Help your wife put the kids on the bus, because bus is like 7 o'clock, 7:30. Go down 8 o'clock. But the halakha that I'm saying doesn't mean you should abuse it. If be'emet, in a dire circumstance, I'll tell you what happened to a certain person. Baruch Hashem, b'lein hara. His wife had to run out. She's a doctor, whatever. She had to run out to the hospital. He was stuck with all the kids in the house. 6, 7 children, b'lein hara. Who's going to put them on the bus? Who's going to take the little ones to school, to the babysitter? He could miss, he could go ahead. If he cannot find davening at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, he's allowed to daven. But like we said last time, best time always to try to, even if you're davening by yourself, try to do it in the synagogue. But even if you're davening at home, try to do it at the time when the synagogue is praying. For example, let's say mincha. I'm going to give you one example. Mincha of Shabbat. The husband's a tzaddik, right? He wants to leave his wife and he wants to go to, no. You don't stay home Daven 7 o'clock mincha with your wife, with your kids, meaning let the kids run around you and let the wife have her sanity. But daven 7 o'clock p.m. just exactly the same time that they're davening. So as if your prayer is going up with them. But don't put all the burden, and this is one of the biggest things people don't see today. They put all the burden on their wife, expecting a woman today to bring the money home, to take care of the kids, to make the food, to clean the house. Listen, I want to say something. We're not those type of people that make our wives' lives miserable. On the contrary, we want to show them how beautiful religion is. We want to show them how beautiful Yiddishkeit can be. What it means to be a Ben Torah. Ben Torah, really, if you really look at religious people, real people that have good quality midot, if you see how they take care of their wives, above and beyond. It's not only by giving money, Jigarik, being there for the kids, saying Shema with them at night. They do almost everything for their wives. It's nuts.
Right.
So to answer your question, yes, you should definitely help your wife. If you could catch a minion, you catch a minion. If you cannot catch a minion, then you daven by yourself or in the synagogue, whichever option we spoke about.
Thank you, Rabbi. This is amazing.
Anyway, beautiful. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
You as well.
Have a great one.